The Lantern Keeper. In the village of Elderglow, nestled between whispering pines and a restless sea, there was a cliff where no one dared to linger after dusk. At its edge stood a lone lighthouse, its beam cutting through the fog like a blade. The villagers called it the Watcher's Light, and its keeper, an old woman named Mara, was said to be as ancient as the cliffs themselves. Mara was no ordinary lighthouse keeper. She didn't just tend the flame that guided ships safely to shore. At night, when the village slept, she wove stories into the light. Each beam that swept across the waves carried a tale, fragments of forgotten lives, dreams of sailors lost at sea, or warnings of storms yet to come. The villagers swore the light felt alive, warm with secrets only Mara knew. One autumn evening, a girl named Leela, barely 12, slipped away from her family's cottage. She'd heard the tales of Mara's magic, and driven by a hunger for wonder, crept toward the lighthouse. The wind howled, and the sea churned below, but Leela's heart was fearless. She knocked on the weathered door. Mara answered, her eyes like polished amber, sharp and knowing. "Why are you here, child?" she asked, her voice rough as the cliffs. "I want to see the stories," Leela said, clutching her shawl against the cold. "I want to know what the light says." Mara studied her, then stepped aside. Inside the lighthouse was a maze of shelves, lined with jars that glowed faintly, each holding a wisp of light like trapped fireflies. "These are the stories," Mara said. "Each one a life, a dream, a truth. But they're not for idle eyes. Choose one, and it will change you." Leela's fingers brushed a jar that pulsed with a soft blue glow. The moment she touched it, the room vanished. She stood on a ship, waves crashing over the deck, a captain shouting against the storm. She felt his fear, his resolve, his love for a home he'd never see again. When the vision faded, she was back in the lighthouse, tears streaming down her face. "What was that?" she whispered. "His story," Mara said. "Now it's part of you. Every story you take makes you more than you were, but it comes with a weight." Leela returned night after night, each jar revealing a new tale, a mermaid's song, a pirate's regret, a child's wish carried on the wind. With each story she grew wiser, her eyes brighter, her heart heavier. The villagers noticed the change, whispering that Leela was becoming like Mara, tethered to the light. Years passed. Mara grew frail, her hands trembling as she lit the lantern. One night she handed Leela the key to the lighthouse. She said, "The light needs a keeper. It chooses its own. It's chosen you." Leela hesitated. She loved the stories, but she'd felt their burden, grief, longing, joy so sharp it hurt. Could she carry them forever? But as she looked at the jars, their glow steady and alive, she knew she couldn't turn away. Mara vanished into the fog that night, and Leela took her place. She wove her own stories into the light, blending them with those she'd inherited. The village thrived, ships found safe harbor, and the Watcher's light burned brighter than ever.